Are you a fan of horror? Think you've got nerves of steel and aren't bothered by things that go bump in the night? Then you're going to love Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife. Even if you're not a huge horror fan, you should still check this out. Why? Carry on watching to find out. Developed and published by Fast Travel Games, Wraith is a VR horror title set in the World of Darkness universe. The most popular name in this universe people might recognize would be Vampire the Masquerade. Your objective? Solve the mystery of your own death, uncover the strange happenings at the Barclay Mansion, and escape. That's right, you yourself are dead, a wraith, and with your supernatural powers must walk the halls, uncover the truth, and avoid other spirits which would do you harm.
Sounds like we have company. Do you want me to call over?
As mentioned, this is a VR horror game, and you'll find yourself running and hiding from other spirits that want nothing more than to send you to Oblivion. This involves the aforementioned running, hiding in cupboards, and throwing objects to distract them. You start off clueless as to what's going on and where you are, but the game does a pretty good job at teaching you the core game mechanics. You start off with a simple tutorial section, and as you progress through the game, new features are introduced and taught. You can always see your current objectives at the press of a button, and the story unfolds with great voice acting and past events popping up, allowing you to see and understand things that happened.
The size of this place, it's crazy.
This isn't an action-based game, and it isn't full of jump scares. Not that there aren't some, mind you. But what this game is atmospheric. There were quite a few times when the hairs on my arms stood up on end. I felt a pit in my stomach, and I could feel my heart beating hard against my chest. Going through the game, I kept having flashbacks of playing the original Resident Evil for the first time. Creeping down corridors, not knowing what I'd find around the corner or behind the next door. Something I did find annoying during my playthrough was hand-to-object collision. For the majority of things in the world, you can put your hand through with no collision. This would be perfectly fine and believable as you are a spirit after all, but with the ability to open cupboards and doors, I'd expect that I could push a door shut without using the handle. For small cupboards this worked fine, but for doors, the only collision area seemed to be a small area around the door handle itself. Anywhere else and your hand would go straight through it, sometimes getting caught on the collision area itself as you pull your hand back through. This was annoying and broke immersion at times, especially when you were in a rush and running away from evil spirits. If you've played any VR title before that involves moving around and grabbing items, you'll feel right at home with the controls. The game supports all the VR comfort features and control methods you'd expect, so if your VR legs aren't quite up to scratch, you should still be fine. I played through the entire game on the native Quest 2 version, and I thought the game looked great. For the game to have the visuals that it does, and for it to run this well, is developer optimization black magic. Honestly, the video now and screenshots you might have seen do not do this game enough justice. The mottled glass effect is just amazing, curtains look fantastic, and the lighting effects are just wow. And this is on the Quest 2. Now of course the PC version can pull out all the stops with bloom effects, greater anti-aliasing, greater reflective surfaces, etc, but honestly, you hardly notice a difference. While yes, looking at them side by side, models have greater details, there are improved lighting effects, and it's sharper. While I was jumping between the two and just playing the game, I really didn't notice. The only things I did notice were the odd popping of objects, either appearing out of nowhere or disappearing, or models swapping between a lower detailed version to a more detailed version as I got closer. But, to be fair, the objects popping into view out of nowhere only happened once. Now, even with the game being as visually stunning as it is, audio is where the game really shines. It is the audio which is often overlooked in games, but in a horror game it is vital at creating atmosphere. Wraith will have you stopping at every sound you hear, dreading to enter a room and not wanting to leave your hiding space. Walking around and hearing a bottle smash, a floorboard creak or a door open will have your heart pumping and your palms sweating. You really get a sense of spatial presence just because of the sound effects, and it's a pleasure to behold. And terrifying too. Using the default built-in speakers on the Quest 2, the sounds were still great. But if you have a decent pair of headphones, you owe it to yourself to wear them whilst playing this game. If you dare, that is. As mentioned previously, the story unfolds with scene elements of what has happened within the Barclay Mansion with some great voice acting.
Are you also here to bask in the glory of Howard Barclay?
Each character in the game is believable, and the voices of other spirits can at times be downright frightening. The game is about 6 to 8 hours, but could take longer depending on how quickly you play. Throughout your journey, you'll find items and other moments in time which will help fill out the backstory of the game.
Okay, here goes. So, Howard, how would you like to go back in the movie business?
These are scattered and hidden around the mansion, waiting to be discovered. Some clear to see, others hidden away. Some items you need to progress, but others are purely there for lore and backstory. These items are stored in your memory palace, which can be visited from any save point. Other than collecting everything, once you've completed the game, that's it. Yes, you can play the game again for sure, but there are no other modes or experiences. I was a little disappointed that once completed, I couldn't carry on exploring the mansion and trying to find all the hidden items. Loading up my save literally took me back to my last save point at the end where all the doors are locked other than the ones it wanted me to take.
Well, alright. Here we are. I guess this is it.
So, did I enjoy this game? If it's not already obvious, yes I did. I'm not usually one to play a lot of horror games, but this was, well, tense, a lot of fun and an experience I would recommend to any VR gamer. It's a great looking game with fantastic sound design, amazing atmosphere, and a compelling story which will have you questioning stuff from the beginning and have you throughout the game going, oh, and ah. So from me, it gets the Thumb Culture Gold Award. Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife comes out on the 22nd of April on Oculus Quest and Rift, Steam VR on the 25th of May, and later this year on PlayStation VR. The game supports cross-buy on Oculus platforms, so buying it on your Quest or Quest 2 means you'll get a PC copy via the Oculus Store should you wish to play via link cable, virtual desktop, or the soon-to-release Air Link. Have you enjoyed this review? Is it the title you're going to pick up? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you've enjoyed this video, consider hitting that like button. Don't forget to click subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future content, and for more news, reviews and previews, head on over to the Thumb Culture website.